Welcome back to the Real South Africa. We are back in the country and we have a lot to tell you. So check it out and of course like and subscribe.
Hello everyone, this is Dr. Latasha Blanton and
This is Mark Blanton.
We're from the Real South Africa Travel and Tourism. If this is your first time, please subscribe to our channel.
Absolutely.
And don't forget to hit the notifications button so that you don't miss any of our videos that we upload. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. So today we're just going to have a candid conversation with you guys. A lot has been going on, but we're going to keep it short and sweet. And I'm going to let Mark start off with...
Well, yeah, we're going to be talking about several topics. You know, one of them is going to be the real estate tour that's coming up. So stay tuned for that because there's going to be a lot of details that we're going to pass out, I would assume. And then I think another topic that we're going to talk about are people that are visiting more and, of course, moving more to the Republic of South Africa. And I think another topic we're going to talk about is just slightly, it's just the visas. Because, again, a lot of it ties up with the visas. So we will have a short conversation about that because we already have it solved in reference to, you know, a company that we're using to make sure that people who qualify for visas can actually receive a visa. And we'll talk a little bit more in detail about that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So let's start with the real estate tour first, because I think you mentioned that.
Yeah,
you mentioned that first.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. But first of all, welcome to our home. We're at home. We made it back from
Switzerland.
Yeah, we was in Switzerland for a little while. It's our birthday month, so we decided to go to Switzerland. Had an amazing experience there. Just to give you a short version of the story, I haven't been there in 22 years, and I was just like, you know what, I want to do something. And one of my fondest memories was being in Switzerland. This is many years ago. This is when I was in the U.S. Army. Believe it or not, I was in the U.S. Army, and yeah, it was good. Tasha had never been.
It was my first time, and I absolutely loved it. I thanked him as much as I could for even wanting to go to Switzerland again. And number two, to drive through the Alps like that. It was the most amazing thing. I would absolutely love to do it again.
Yeah, and we probably will do it again. We're going to kind of be, you know, we're going to be doing new stuff, a lot of more stuff here in South Africa, as you guys already know. I know it's funny when people say, hey, you need to come to Durban. And I'm like, we've been to Durban. Hey, you know, you need to come to KZN. Not KZN, but Eastern Cape. And we've been all through the Eastern Cape. Unfortunately, and just other places. So, you know, we can't put all the videos up because sometimes we just like our tourists that come here that's having a good time. We're actually having a good time. And when you're having a good time and trying to think about content, it's like a killjoy a little bit because we don't want to be stopping all the time for content. We want to go to the next thing like everyone else, and of course get to our meal and get to everything else. So sorry that we, you know, seems like we haven't been everywhere, but we can say, you know, for the most part, outside of the Northern Cape, to include the Free State, we've been there, but we have not been. Yeah, that was
I'm
fun.
like, that was a long time ago, but yeah, we have been.
Yeah, and so we're going to continue to travel. We're going to do more. I was thinking about a drive down to Cape Town.
Yeah, that would be awesome if he decides that. Obviously, I'm going to be in the passenger seat. He might let me drive a little bit. He'll let me drive a little bit.
Yeah.
But that would be fun, too, like that whole drive from here to Cape Town.
And, of course, we'll take a few days to get there, but we will.
Yeah, that's the whole point, to actually break up the whole trip and enjoy the process as we go.
Yeah, and we'll probably do a little bit of videos on that. But the big thing is we want to talk about the real estate tour. We want to give you guys a lot of details because in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, all the details are out there because the first trip was full. People figured it out and they came, you know, the first group, they had an amazing time. As you see, a lot of people have came back. A lot of people have came back and you guys didn't know. They got acclimated to the Republic of South Africa and they did that through the real estate tour. Well, you got to keep in mind our tours are not, well, they are just real estate, especially this one in particular, but you do get to meet other people. You do get to spend time in the evening in South Africa, and I think when these guys finally leave, they feel comfortable with South Africa.
They feel very comfortable with South Africa. I think the way we set things up, which is, very well rounded, because they're in South Africa, because they get to meet, people that are thinking about, transition to South Africa, when they get to meet local people and get to mingle with that, it gives them a level of comfortability that says, hey, maybe I can do this.
Yeah.
And then on top of the professionals that they meet, it becomes a no-brainer.
Yeah, and I think too, when I think about the second tour that we did for the real estate tour, as soon as the first one was over, everybody was asking, what about the second one? Oh my God, the second one. We wanna take part in it.
Yeah.
And I could tell, we could sit here, we could make a whole video on the stories that we heard when people were calling us or of course sending us messages. Scheduling calls like they generally do, and then we talk to them, and everybody has their idea of what they want to do. People have various reasons for wanting to reside here. It goes from I want to live there six months of the year, or I want to have a home in South Africa but still live in America, or just various things, and we're kind of giggling on our side because there might be a person that says, I want to buy a house in this neighborhood, in this place. I want to buy this particular house.
And I'm not laughing, but I'm laughing because I know, I know what we know. But continue on. They want to buy a house where they
sure, like they or they come in here. I only want a house that looks like this.
Yeah.
Or I only want a house in this price point. They're trying to do all this research and work before they get here.
Yeah.
So then when they're calling us, they're looking for a particular house, this particular house. And even though we say, which is true, you're going to see everything. You're going to see, can you see every house in Johannesburg?
No.
Johannesburg is massive. Like I said, I think it's twice the size of New York City. So, but some of the creme de la creme properties and properties that we feel that people that are in the Americas would want to be a part of, we show you those homes. So, we got people that say, well, I don't want a big luxury home. Of course, there'd be those that want a big luxury home. So we have those available. But then there are those that say, oh, well, I just want an apartment. I want maybe a 1-bedroom or 2-bedroom apartment.
We got those too.
Yeah. They're like, are we going to be able to see those? And we're like, yes, that's part of it. And then they're like, there are some people that come and they're like, oh, well, I don't want to go see the luxury homes. I only want to see, but then they end up going because they end up meeting people on the tour that are with them, and they say, okay, I'll go. And then they're like walking around in these homes, and they're like, first of all, in the U.S., I would not even be able to walk into a home like this.
Exactly.
But we're giving you access. That's what we're doing. And then number two, they're like, you know what? Once they found out the pricing, then they're like, this is a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now they're motivated.
100%.
And then they're pushing everybody out the way because they're trying to get to the next home.
Motivation ends up coming. What are we going to see tomorrow? But at first they're like, oh, I only want to do this and I only want to do that.
Yeah.
But you're right. Once that motivation hits, they're like, what are we going to see next? And is it going to be like this? And is it going to be like that? Then they get like extra excited, and that motivation leads to so many other things.
Exactly. It gets them, thinking, like especially on the second tour that we did. Just last November, wasn't that long ago, people were purchasing homes, people were talking to realtors, people were talking to the professionals, like everything they needed, they were able to talk to, because like currently we get people that send us emails and they're like, oh, I just need a realtor. And the fact is, you need more than just a realtor. You need a whole team, a vetted team that's going to work on your behalf. And the people that work with us, when I'm having conversation with them as far as how we're going to engage, I'm doing a lot of things to protect you, because I don't want nothing, to happen to you in reference to, the pricing and things like that, and making sure we have proper people that you guys are going to be able to work with. And that's important, because if you get one bad actor, it can wipe you out. Yeah. So we make sure we have no bad actors in there. So if you're interested in buying a property like a lot of people have, then a lot of them have purchased properties, especially on the real estate tour. And so that's why we want to give our people that option. And the biggest reason is because, people want to think, because y'all met us here in this space, that we didn't have a life before this. We had a lot of lives.
I don't know which life you're on, but I'm on number 3.
Yeah, so we've done a lot of things, and so we just feel our people need to have the opportunity.
Yes.
And when I say my people or our people, I'm going to tell you, obviously you guys realize that my sister has moved here, and her husband Barry, they have moved here, but they came on many trips and they got acclimated to South Africa, and it got to a point to where, and of course we're going to have an interview with them at some point. We just haven't done it yet because they've been acclimating themselves being here full time because they were only used to being here 2 weeks at a time.
2 weeks at a time, 10 days at a time, but they're really excited to be here. We definitely want you guys to get a chance to hear their story at length and hear about their transition and stuff. But back to your point.
Yeah.
Once you've got a chance to understand what's available here, and we talked about all the different types of properties that are going to be shown on the real estate tour. A lot of people from the last tour not only purchased properties, but they purchased investment properties.
Yeah.
So a lot of you have asked about investment properties as well, but just know everything that you can think of as far as like investments are concerned or properties are concerned, even down to land, all that's going to be covered. So, but you're not going to know how any of that works unless you go to our website, book the real estate tour, and show up in November with everybody else. The trip is almost full, but definitely still want to encourage those of you that are kind of on the fence to just think about how it is you want the rest of your life to look, whether it's an investment property in South Africa or whether it's transitioning here and living here full time like myself and my sister-in-law. All those options are available, but you do need to come. You do need to see it. You do need to get a feel for South Africa because that's the best way that you're going to know if you're making the right decision.
Correct. And keep in mind that I keep saying South Africa because I'm talking about properties in South Africa and specifically Johannesburg.
Yes.
I'm not talking about properties and how they do business in other parts of Africa.
Yeah.
Because they do have borders and you got to have passports to get past these borders. Kind of like the United
all
States.
kinds of stuff.
Yeah, there's a big difference between Canada and the United States. And then you go to the southern border, there's a big difference between Mexico and the United States and Canada and Mexico. Yep. So when you cross into these borders, then you fall into a different arena. And we're well versed here in this arena because we've been living here so long, and we've been doing a lot of things like I said in tourism along this line for a long time. So we're the go-tos. I would say
in a lot of ways because we've done so much. We've built relationships here in South Africa. We're still trying to build those relationships and leverage those relationships for your benefit. So I mean, if anything, just understand that we've laid this groundwork for a reason, not to just be putting out YouTube videos, but to run a tourism company, to show you guys how South Africa works, to encourage you to come visit. I mean, that's really the bulk of why we do what we do. Yeah,
and honestly, that's the language that here in South Africa that they really understand. They don't understand the tips and can you just let me know how this works? And no, they're looking at it through tourism. Especially that's why we're able to do what we're doing, because when we say we do tourism and they can see that we're doing tourism, then of course the Star News, the Sunday paper calls us and say, hey, can you do an interview? And there's a few other interviews I got to do on different platforms. I think we have one that came up that's from the UK. They want us to do as well. So so we want you guys to come properly. So when you hear me say come properly, that's a term here that everything is in order.
Yes.
Like here in South Africa, it's not something I said before I came here. I would just say it's squared away, or whatever.
You still say it sometimes.
Yeah, every once in a while.
But everything's like, you need to do it proper. Like, okay, I
just do it proper, and then just come. And you don't have to wait till you're at retirement age. I mean, we have people that was here in their 30s because they need to see it for themselves. And so you can have another target to reach at. You be like, okay, what are we going to do? And we've seen enough people, change their target. For example, my very own sister, you're going to hear out of her mouth, they was thinking one thing. They started coming to South Africa as a tourist properly. They started seeing things about South Africa. And they only let me just put it to you like this. They did this much. And they were impressed.
Yes.
and they changed and it's obviously sold the house in Northern Virginia, did all this stuff. Both of them retired, and they came here. Fortunately, they've been touring the country with us a little bit, and they've been seeing this much, and they're thinking they've seen a lot, and we know that it's just
so much more.
Yeah, it's just the beginning.
Yeah, but we gotta let them go slow. Like we can't.
Yeah.
We gotta. I'm not saying that we need to spoon feed them, but this country can be overwhelming with so many positive things and so many good things you can do. I'm excited because I get to share that with them, but even he has to remind me, hey, they just got here.
Yeah, every once in a while,
let them
figure it out
for themselves, and they've been doing a phenomenal job. So. So shout out to them for making the decision to follow us to South Africa.
Yeah, and a lot of you guys have followed us to South Africa. Like I said, we've been noticing too that there's a lot of people that are interested in South Africa. That we're starting to looking for our channel to make sure our video's up, and then there's other people that have come here. They've made positive videos about South Africa and just spreading the word. But all I can say, to you guys, that your journey got to start somewhere.
Yes.
Don't do the normal. Well, let me wait till I get everything done, and let me put it off until my last trip possible. You can do that. You can. But I promise you, I said it to every person that's ever came here with us, and we've had young people all the way up to a serious age. They all say the same thing. First of all, thank you for exposing us to this. Yeah. Thank you, because we would have never came on our own. But that's just their truth. Yeah. And then number two, they're like, I wish I would have known about this earlier.
That's all. That's always the sentiment that they wish they had come here earlier. And speaking of coming here earlier, the people that bring their small children, those are the ones that are like, I'm so glad I get to share this with my kids. Yeah. Because they know that they planted a seed where the kids are going to want to come back to South Africa, going to want to do more in Africa. They're already changing people's lives just off one visit, and I think that's where the groundwork is laid. You got to come on that first visit. Yeah,
but there's a lot. But that real estate tour, it does. I've been noticing how the people are just like, I'm just falling in love with South Africa, because they didn't come here and was standing on the corner waiting for an Uber to show up. They're not trying to figure out where to go and what to do. They're seeing all this stuff. It's almost like what we used to call back in the day a hit parade. It's literally, they're like, man, what am I doing tomorrow? What's going on? This is overwhelming. And then we put these people back on the plane, and they're just like, what? And then they get back, and then they're like unpacking it. And then we get and we truly appreciate everyone who, they've been gone a week or so, and we get that email.
Yeah, we get that email. Yeah, they're like, I know I've only been gone for a little while, but I just want you to know I miss South Africa. I miss y'all. I miss the food. I miss the people. Yeah. I miss the weather. Those are the top three things that people will say. But a lot of people, not only are they missing South Africa, they're disgruntled, or in the words of Asha Hotep, they're pissed that they're back and that they have to be there. But you gotta come see that. But those are the emails that we get. So
as soon as they get back. Yeah, as soon as they get back.
So just know that your experience will be very similar. Hopefully it'll still be positive, but missing South Africa is definitely something. Even when we traveled, we still miss home. Yeah. We went to Switzerland. I was like, we had a great time, but I'm like, nothing's like South Africa.
Yeah, because even though Switzerland was amazing and the stuff that we did, and I really wanted to go, this place where we stay now, it feels more than the home that we grew up at. We grew up there. Yeah. And some of us is like, well, that's the only home that I know, which is fair. But when you go somewhere else and you feel like this is home, and I will share this statement. My sister, I'm talking to her, and she's news alert. She's in her new place, a new home that they're purchasing or purchased. And I said, Cindy, do you miss your old home? Because she was in it for like almost 30 years. Almost 30 years. And she says, Mark, I honestly haven't thought about that home.
That's crazy.
And I thought that was telling, So, we understand there's a lot going on in the world, with the elections, even here in South Africa, the elections that are coming up in America. And I would say, personally, don't let those things be motivating factors to do anything.
Yeah.
That's what the governments are doing, and that's what they're doing. You got to make a personal commitment to something. And I noticed that everybody who tends to come here, they look at it personally. They don't bring the government with them when they come. They just come on their own, and then and I always say to them, and they might not understand it initially. Yeah, y'all gonna be having that pillow talk, especially if they're a married couple.
Oh yeah.
About like, okay, now what can we do? And unfortunately, we had the same pillow talk, but it just happened to be a long time ago. But we had that pillow talk, so I understand. So, you will never hear us say, oh, you gotta, just move to South Africa, just move. No. I'm never gonna say that because that's not fair. That's kind of like trying to eat the whole donkey. The whole thing just, without even, whatever. But I will say if you come on a tour, which is a two-piece. It's a little two-piece.
And a biscuit. I don't even know.
Yeah, but it's something that you can achieve. It's something that you can do. And then the good part about it is if you come with us on even a 6-day tour, you will go away having an idea. You know what? I never wanted to go to Africa. I never thought about. How many people told us I never wanted to come to Africa?
That's actually funny because a lot of the phone calls that we take, which are always eye-opening to me, they'll say, I was researching this part of Africa or that part of Africa, and I had my heart set on going here. And then I started doing research, and I came across your channel, and I never had the desire to go to South Africa. But after watching your videos, I wanted to come to Africa. Then they'll love this one. What do I got to do? And I'm like, I'm glad you asked that question. Yeah, but a lot of people aren't even thinking about South Africa because no matter how hard we try, South Africa still has the stigma, but we're going to continue to put out positive content and so promote the country the best way we can. But once you overcome the stigma and understand who's actually telling the news, when you get here, you'll be like, I can't believe I listened to these people lie to me. And there are people, I know the internet is 100 years old and you can look and see stuff for yourself. But a lot of people are still like, I really didn't know. And they're shocked and a little bit amazed at themselves for not knowing better. Yeah. But don't take it personal. You're not the only one.
You won't be the only one. There are too many people who feel that way. Yeah. And which is fine because, like I said, I got many stories about that. But at the end of the day, at least at some point, there are people that'll come and then they're like, well, I'm going to get my family to come. And they try to tell their families. And even their families are looking at them like, nope. I don't know about that. That's Africa. Now, if they said Paris, they'll be there in a heartbeat and spending much more money. But they would go, no problem. Yeah. So, and then all those people that you guys have been, a lot of you guys have been with us for a long time. Yeah. For obviously you new guys, make sure you subscribe to our channel. Simply because there's been some what we call irregularities with this, the subscriptions. So if you already subscribed and you just check and just see if you're still subscribed. If not, just resubscribe. We really appreciate that. So all I really can say is that all those people that you see that are doing the testimonials, pretty much all of them, they all came on the packages that you guys are seeing on the website. They all are. So let's say you were, Mark, Tasha, I want to go to Johannesburg and then I want to go over to Durban. You could pick that on the website. Yep. And then we will send you your final stuff. This is how we got it set up for you. Because you got to keep in mind, if we put everything that's available in Durban on the website, I would need 4 websites just for Durban, literally. So when you say, if you can commit to say coming to Durban for 10 days, and then we can say, okay, then we will talk to you, kind of get a feel for who you are and whatnot. And then we will put together this amazing package. And those people that you hear talking about how great it was and this, that, and the third, it was simply because we had a short conversation with them. We didn't have to, but we did in some cases. And then we were able to put the package together, and then they still come here. They're hilarious. How many people they come here and then they get to their room and then they send us a picture or video of the room, which we already know what the rooms look like. And they're just so excited, or they'll send us a voice message. They say, "Oh my God, this is a nice apartment that I'm staying in. This is amazing. View is ... I
done sent it to all my family. They can't believe it. Now they wish they would have come with me. I'm gonna keep showing them so that I can let them know." Really, the people that come without their families, they are the best, because all they do is rub it in their family's face how good of a time they're having and how much they missed out. It is the funniest thing ever. I hope that you're one of those people. I hope that you're one of those people that say, you know what? My family ain't got to come. I'm going to come. I'm going to have a good time. And during my good time, I'm going to rub it in their face. Be one of those people. I encourage that.
It's so funny how that works. But at the end of the day, you know, our company, the Real South Africa, its whole mission is to make sure that you have basically the best experience. And that's why we consider the luxury brand here in South Africa, because we only like to, you know, deal with 5-star. We don't just put you in an Uber. You have a proper driver.
Dedicated.
All your guides are proper. Everything is 100% across the board. So that's why you keep hearing these people just raving about us. And then a lot of times they can't even get the words together. They're like, well, I don't know exactly what to say, but this is beyond what I expected, and so forth. So again, this is what we're providing. And then on top of that, you know, a lot of you guys have spoken, and you guys was like, hey, you know what? I want to go to Vic Falls. How many times people kept asking us about Vic Falls? They kept asking.
Do you do Vic Falls? Do you do? And I'm like, no, we don't do them yet. We don't. And then finally, because people have been asking, but obviously, you know, we're not going to put you guys in a situation that doesn't land on par with our brand. And then ultimately, we found someone that falls in line with our brand. We went and checked it out. We're like, this will work. And now we can do Vic Falls for you guys attached to any package. It'll be about 4 days, but let me tell you, this place is... this place is something. Do you hear me? So people have asked about Zim, and we finally got it. So that's exciting for you to add on, because now when you ask, I can say absolutely. You can find that add-on package on the website as well.
So you would just put in your cart the 6 day to Durban, and then you just click on the Zim package to Victoria Falls. Click on that; it'll all pop into your cart, and then you're on your way. You really don't have to worry about anything, because we're going to take care of it at that level. So I thought it was funny when you know, I posted in a couple of videos, and I'm going to post it in this video as well, that when Phil Scott came, you know, he's very passionate about Africa, believe it or not, and he's traveled around a little bit. And he's like, you know, we put the bar up here, you know, and he's came with us 2 times as a group, and then 3 times total. And we keep putting the bar up. So he was like, man, it's going to be kind of hard to do anything else or mess with anyone else, simply because we keep the bar so high, as far as your accommodations, the food, all the stuff that
we make sure you have a proper experience. And what that means to me, I don't know what it means to you, but what it means to me is that you don't have to worry about anything. If your only concern is what time you got to be ready to go in the morning, you ain't got to figure out nothing. That's an experience. Trust me, when we went to Switzerland, we didn't have to figure out anything. It was all laid out for us, and that's how we like to travel, and that's how we do it for you. And trust me, it was amazing. So I know how we want you guys to feel, and that's why we put so much care into how we deliver stuff, because I think you deserve it.
Of course. So lastly, we want to just chat a little bit about for those people, because we do have a lot of people that are like looking at South Africa and thinking that, you know what, I'm about to do something. You know, especially a lot of people who are retired. I mean, we've met people that's been retired for 3, 4, 5 years, and just kind of like
listing.
I was going to say that word.
I wanted to say it.
I was going to say that exact word.
Okay.
They're just kind of like they don't know what to do with themselves. They just kind of like, they're listening, and we've chatted with these people, and then so then they've came on the tour, or they've been on the tour, or they're scheduled to come on the tour, and they're like, well, if I like it, how can I stay? And of course, us being in real South Africa, we have a proper, scenario set up to where if this is the case, then we have a company set aside or working with us, however you want to look at it, to say, okay, I wanna apply for a visa. Guys, there are many visas out there, many visas.
Yeah.
And keep in mind that, yes, when they wrote their immigration act, they had to put in numbers and saying these are your qualifications and so forth and whatnot. You still have to get that application filled out properly the way that they want it.
Yes.
That's key. And make sure that somebody's vetting it for you. So that's why you need an immigration person. It's kind of like going to court and
with no lawyer.
And with no lawyer, you're out there.
Try to defend yourself with
gonna,
no background.
Exactly. They're going to see you pop up and they're going to say, where's your lawyer? Oh, no, I'm going to defend myself. Okay, well, they're not going to stop you, but they like,
we got this one.
This one right here, we're going to get that much about extra 5 years just because he didn't show up with a lawyer. Just being funny a little bit. Anyway, but so what happens is, and the process is arduous, but you got to keep in mind, I'm being honest with you, that's just kind of like the requirements, how can I say it? Ultimately you have to go sit in front of somebody at the embassy or at the consulate. You have to, and that's their way of talking
vetting
to you,
vetting
you, making, are you the right type of person?
That
are
we
you
want in our country?
Yes, ... It's not just check mark. They get to decide. And I'm sure they have conversations on who they want and this, that, and the third, and so forth. So when you turn your application in, but if you had a lawyer, or I'm not saying an immigration lawyer, but just
an immigration specialist.
Somebody who knows what they're looking for, then that just makes it a little bit easier on your side, and your application will look stronger. You will look stronger because, in my conversation with them, they literally told me they're with you through the whole process.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, they're going to, get you prepped for that day when you got to turn in your application.
Man, that sounds like somebody giving you the answers to the test.
Yes. So that's why it's important. And unfortunately, once you've been through the process, however you get through the process, once you get that stamp in your passport that says that you can come and go as you please, and now you are legal across the board to.
You can stay more than 90 days.
Yeah, stay more than 90 days. There's a lot of things on the other side of that visa you're going to need, like being able to open up bank accounts, no problem.
Register number.
Yeah, get your traffic
car.
All the stuff.
There's so many things that come along with that. So trying to do it the other way around, or trying to do any of those things without like being here legally, that can cause a real problem. But if somebody's giving you the answer to the test, I would say,
don't think you can just get a tip or a trick or what did you do. Every application is different. Mm-hmm. Everybody's situation is different. So you want an advocate on your side that's going to make sure things work. And so again, that's what we know. And fortunately, we've had enough people come through us. Meaning that they came through as a tourist. Mm-hmm. If you've never been here and if all you're doing is reading headlines and watching, whatever you want to watch, and you've never been here, you are doing yourself a serious disservice and whatnot. And keep in mind, I just want you to understand, I'm already here. Tasha, she's already here. And the things that we are talking about, we enjoy on a regular basis. We actually enjoy them pretty much every day, and so forth. And, we know our people, we worked hard before we showed up here. Tasha worked hard before she showed up here. And we know there's a lot of people out there just like us that if they had the chance to get a do-over or get an opportunity to, go somewhere else and get it, start feeling good about themselves, I think they should have it. And so that's why we do what we do. And we know a lot of people that come here, and then they do it proper. And I'm going like this because there's levels to this thing. And so when we put you here on this level, that's where everything is happening, and that's where you want to be.
Yeah.
But the moment that you decide to, you know what, I'm going to save an extra $78 and I'm going to come in here,
Yeah.
you're not going to see what these people are seeing up here.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people talking about it, but these people who saw it, and the same advice that was given to us, man, you know, at this level, I wouldn't told nobody. I'm telling you, I've heard that.
A thousand times.
Yeah, in my ear. Man,
you could have kept this to yourself.
I would have kept this to myself. But when you got to get to this level, the people down here, they're still talking about it.
Yeah.
Oh man, you know, South Africa this, South Africa that, and they didn't come in on this level.
Yeah.
I can just tell you this.
Yeah.
So we want everybody to win. I mean, obviously everybody can't. So whatever relationship that you can form with Africa, and you notice I didn't say South Africa, whatever relationship you can form with Africa, form that relationship, and there's a good possibility it's going to take you traveling back and forth. Now, with you, I think if you are trying to figure out which nation is the best, this, that, and the third, I'm going to tell you, that's a lot of traveling.
Yeah.
That's 54 nations that you got to go see. So I would say, you know, select one or two, go see it for yourself. South Africa, maybe one of them. Come see it for yourself properly, you know, with everything in order, and then you'll be a happy camper. So that's what I wanted to talk about as far as visas are concerned. Are they obtainable? Even if you find out that, hey, I don't qualify and whatnot, South Africa has been very kind with that 90-day tourist visa. Keep in mind, it's a tourist visa. It's only to come tour, to come see, not to live off of. It's to come tour, to come see what it's all about. And then you can go back and what happens is people start to make their plans.
Yeah, that's what it comes with.
Yeah, so we got people that are asking us for 30-day trips, 60-day trips, 90-day trips.
I know.
And we sort them out.
Yeah.
You know, they're trying to figure out where to go, where to stay. We like, look, just put all that down. We'll take care of it. And they come and they're like, oh, okay, this works and whatnot. And keep in mind, even in Johannesburg is bigger than just Rosebank. I think that's where I started back in 2010.
100%.
Before there was a mall. And my favorite eatery was there. Yeah, long time ago. And it's grown, it's bigger than Santon. Yeah. And that's the funny thing about the real estate tour. You go everywhere.
Yeah.
You're all over the city. So you're like, oh, sitting on a bus, a nice bus, by the way, or a van or a mini bus, whatever we want to call it. And you're just looking out the window and you say, wow, I'm seeing the infrastructure.
Yeah.
I think one of the things people the most is that, because here in Joburg, there's a lot of electronic billboards, big ones.
I know.
A lot of billboards. And people are tripping because they keep rotating the video or whatever is being advertised, and they keep saying all these black faces.
Yeah, that gets them every time.
Every single time.
Remember that lady was like, I took a picture of took her into Clicks. And she's like, I took a picture of the Pampers. I'm like, why? She goes, they had a black baby on it. I was like, but I mean, that's just, but it's everywhere. And those electronic billboards are also everywhere.
Yeah. So those are the types of things. So at the end of the day, I hope you guys are having a great day. We're having a great day. We did have a good time in Switzerland. Now we're back in South Africa. Like I said, we got a lot of new things that we're going to do. And I'll probably bring on the Grays, which is my sister and brother-in-law, just so you guys can get an update of what they've been doing. And you used to see with her little short video that she did, or that the dealership did when she purchased her car.
Man.
Yeah, so I'm dropping Easter eggs along the way and purchased a car. Yeah, so that means they got a car.
Purchased the house.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, little things. So it's going to be interesting. So again, we will see you guys here in sunny South Africa.
I want to give a shout out to the Real South Africa, therealsouthafrica.com, and the Real South Africa on YouTube, Facebook, and any other platforms out there. Mark and Dr. Latasha Blanton, as always, they do a great tour and service, for the people. They do it top notch, 5-star. And, they set the bar pretty high. And the bad part about setting the bar pretty high is that if you don't kind of match what they're doing, yeah, I can't be moving with you too much. Sorry, when somebody put the bar that high, so I definitely want to give them props for the tour.
All right, guys, this one is just for the ladies. Ladies, I'm talking to you specifically because I know you love a good girls' trip getaway. And South Africa is definitely the place you're going to want to be. From world-class shopping to amazing spa treatments, you are going to have the most amazing time ever. Do you know how you get that amazing time ever? You visit therealsouthafrica.com. We allow you to pick your own travel dates and determine how many of your girls are going to be traveling with you here to South Africa. We have packages that range from 6 to 13 days, so you can decide whatever works best for you and your friends. So of course, if you have a chance, please visit therealsouthafrica.com, and we'll see you here in sunny South Africa. South Africa has partnered with a firm to give you more options for payment. Please visit our website to find out more.
Okay, you have made it. You have made it to South Africa. I know it's on a lot of people's bucket list, and now you are here. Coming to a safari in South Africa is something special and should be celebrated, because when you get here, as you see, it is going to be an experience of a lifetime, something you'll never, ever are going to forget and you will talk about forever. So booking a trip with the Real South Africa Travel and Tourism to Kruger National Park here in South Africa is one of the most amazing places you can be, simply because of the amenities, the accommodations, the food, the vibe, the experience. There is nowhere on the planet that you're going to be able to do exactly what you're seeing right now. Being out in nature is something that we all have gotten away from. Now it's time to go back. And we could do it for you here at the Real South Africa Travel and Tourism. As you see, we talk about safari lodges a lot, and now you actually see why it's important that you actually go out and have a good time. Getting back to nature, meeting good people, enjoying yourself, decompressing from all the days and months of work before you were getting here. I know you was excited to get that spa treatment. I know you were thinking about it the entire time. And now that you're here, you're going to eat some good food. You're going to get treated very well. And all I can say to you is coming to sunny South Africa will probably be the best choice. So I would say book your trip on our website, therealsouthafrica.com. Contact us if you have any questions, and we're going to make your time here amazing. See ya.
Thank you so much for spending time with us today. If you like what you saw, please subscribe, and don't forget to hit the notifications button so you don't miss out on all things The Real South Africa. Thanks again.